the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs visited the Mangaung Metro. But the day before, many on Facebook were surprised when they saw a video including some altercation happening within the municipality's offices. Let's take a look.
No, I'm just assisting you. No, I'm just assisting you to go out. Let's go. Hey, man, let's assist him to go out. Can't he? You are live on Facebook. Hey, man, let's go. Let's go.
This desperation of becoming a city manager.
Ma, no, I don't want to be a city manager.
Okay.
No, I don't want to be a city manager.
Sorry.
Let's go. Okay. Hey, man,
why are you forcing him?
No, let's go.
No, why are you forcing him? Can you, please don't keep quiet. Can you assist me? Huh?
Hey, man,
sorry.
Chief.
What? You need to see my pump. Are we done here? Listen.
Yes, sir.
So that is what many South Africans and the residents of Mangaung saw go live on Facebook. And then, of course, it subsequently also did the rounds on various other social media platforms. So speaking to one of the protagonists in that particular video now, just to find out exactly what is going on, because it is really distressing for many. And so many people have written saying that they don't understand how these sort of things could take place within council offices. So Mzingisi Nkungwana, who is now the former acting city manager, joins us now to give us his side of the story. And of course, we will speak to the other person involved in that altercation as well. We'll be putting out an opportunity for them as right of reply as we try to understand exactly what is going on there. And Mzingisi, thanks so much for your time. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sadina.
So,
and thank you very much for the opportunity to be here.
You've been trending on social media for just over a day now because of this, the video that we just shared with our viewers as well. What was going on there?
I'm also very much surprised, or I was surprised by what was happening in my office at that particular day. Sagina will be reminded that I was appointed by Council on the 22nd of February 2022 when the MEC for Copta in the province had went to court and interdicted the meeting of Council and interdicted the then acting city manager Ndate Mayin. I was appointed under the following three conditions. One, that the case between the MEC and the municipality is resolved. Two, that a city manager is appointed. Three, for a period of 3 months. The period of 3 months will then lapse on the 22nd of May next month. Now, what then happened was that the executive mayor, who was part and parcel of the meeting, that elected me acting city manager, who nominated two candidates there who could not win in that democratic vote against myself, sought on to enter into a tirade to try and get me out of the office. Like you said in your introductory statements, there have been a lot of letters that where he has willy-nilly fired me on his own without going to council. He eventually then went to court to try and force me out of the office. It is now common knowledge that he had failed in that court bid. When he failed in that court bid, he then sent Mr. Khamanyane to me, who's head Metro Police, that does not exist, to come and evict me in my office. The videos that you are seeing are extremely unfortunate, but they happened and they were taken by my staff when it was apparent that the chief metropolice was now trying to trample on me, throwing me to the ground. So they had to then take those videos. I'm very saddened and disappointed about those kind of turn of events.
So just on a point of clarity, we saw the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in the Mangaung Metro yesterday, because these issues, the problems that we said this particular metro have been ongoing for quite some time. So what is your position as we speak right now? Because you say you were appointed on a 3-month contract that terminates on the 22nd of May, yet, as we understand it, there is now a new acting city manager. So what is your position right now?
Like I said, Sakina, my contractual obligation with the municipality has not lapsed. The 3 conditions for which I was appointed, none of them have been realized to date. I observed, of course, the appointment of the new acting city manager, and whilst we respect the intervention process, we will then respond to that matter in relation to my standing in the city vis-a-vis now the presence of the purported appointment of the acting city manager. But Sakina, I must tell you that no council to this end has terminated my contract or my appointment with it. No council or court of law has reviewed my appointment to this end. So I remain just as much as I was appointed on the 22nd. There is a confusion that people are making, or that the mayor is making, is that mine was an extension of my lapsed contract of being HOD, or rather this was some form of an extension, and it's not. I was appointed acting city manager separately from being HOD, as you know, your Municipal Structures Act 82 will then inform you. So there's no extension of my contract. There's no any other of these matters. I was simply appointed through a democratic process by a sober council in a fully fledged meeting for a period of 3 months, or the other conditions that I've explained, and none of them have come to fruition at this end.
All right. So you can imagine the confusion for those of us who are not in the inner workings and inner circle here in the Mangaung Metro, because you are saying that your contract has not been terminated. So as far as you are concerned, you are still the acting city manager, correct?
That is correct.
So what about the new appointment? Because you had the minister there yesterday, and apparently there's a new acting city manager, isn't there?
I have, like I said, I have noted the happenings at council yesterday, where a team was dispatched by the minister, and obviously we respect, and I respect the minister, and I will interact with council to clarify, therefore, in line with the current happenings that have happened yesterday, what then becomes my positioning. I must state it from the onset that there are some councillors who raised legalities yesterday around the issues of the appointment of, in particular, the acting city manager, whereas there is one in the city. So those debates are ongoing, and we'll continue to have a discussion with municipal council that which appointed me, to find some clarity in terms of what then becomes a way forward. I must mention that I am not married or forcefully wanting to be an acting city manager in the Mangaung Metro. I think I'm a professional in my own right, and I do not want this kind of chaos that is happening. All I've ever wanted was services to be delivered to the people. My record speaks for itself, as and when I started to become acting city manager in the Mangaung Metro. There are certain things that I've done just in under a month that I have been there, so that we are able to improve our situation. So I'll enter into discussion with the municipality and find out how do we then resolve this particular matter, so that we can all move forward, you know, in terms of our collective or individual responsibilities.
So A statement was issued by the Mangaung Metro yesterday through Kondile Kedama, saying that as of Thursday, that's today, the new acting city manager, Tebogo Mutlashuping, will temporarily take over the administration of Mangaung Metro. So as we stand today, this morning, because it says he will take over today, who has the right to the office that you currently occupy?
You see, the question is that you are asking now. We'll go into town to discuss the issue of the legality or non-legality of the secondments that have been made into the city. And as I said to you in direct response to you, that because I myself as Mzingisi Nkungwana, I am not married to an office or to altercations that the executive mayor have created room for. I will enter into discussion with council without necessarily creating a commotion in the city where I will then go and try to say that Ndadete will step out of my office. I'm in the office. I will not do that. I will enter into discussion. We'll resolve these matters. We are professionals, all of us. We will find a way in which how we are resolving these matters without any, the situation that unfolded, a very unfortunate situation that unfolded a few days back. So, as things stands for today, I will focus myself on entering into the discussions with City Council to clarify my positioning on this matter. Because, like I said, Sakina, I had never appointed myself. I have never even invited myself to any interview. I was voted in a properly constituted council meeting with those terms, for which those terms have not lapsed to date. And no council, in fact, Sakina, I'm empowered by the letter that the Speaker of Council wrote to the mayor, asking him to desist from these acts of trying to harass and victimize me whilst I'm doing my job. The mayor has in any way continued to harass me. It has been 19 days of this particular harassment from the executive mayor when I did not employ myself. I did not vote for myself. I did not do any of these things. I was voted by council, and if that is lawful or unlawful, council standing orders and rules 25A tells them that they cannot review their decision in 90 days. So it will be up to council to sit down and discuss the matter and finalize it. In the meantime, I will sit here and have these discussions with council. I do not want to interfere any further with the workings of the municipality.
Will you be taking the municipality to court over this matter?
Yes, we are considering doing that because the executive mayor went to court and he lost in court. The judge told him that he was exercising an agency of his own and he was on a frolic of his own because he was in the meeting which appointed me. He nominated 2 people. He was dancing around there. When he could not get his own, he started to harass me because I refused to go to Southern Sun to take instructions. I refused to appoint those ghost workers, those political staff. I didn't sign off those things until they forcefully did that. And from that day, he went on a tirade to try and get me out of the office, albeit illegally.
What ghost workers, Mr. Nkungwana, what ghost workers were you expected to sign off on?
As I entered office, there was an issue around people who were employed in his office, in the office of the Speaker, in the office of MPEC, in the office of the Chief Whip. There was a total number of 165 people that were employed. The Speaker of Council had disputed, even knowing these people, the Deputy Mayor, including the Chief Whip, has disputed that even these people have ever even entered their offices. And I was tasked by Council to then investigate this matter and bring a report. I did exactly that, and the executive mayor would want to force my hand, calling me to hotels, showing me letters from the Minister of MEC Nkungwana to say, if you don't do this, we'll be put under administration. I was forced with my hand to do this thing, and I refused. And when I refused, I started to be this enemy number one that I am today. That has been, and then the second thing, when I was removed, Sakina, in office that day, I was busy preparing a report that I was supposed to give to council yesterday in relation to an investigation of a senior executive person in the municipality. I could not even submit that report because of the commotion that took place in my office that day.
So,
Sakina,
just as we end this off, are you saying that there are ghost workers and you were expected to sign off on that?
I am saying that the office of the executive mayor, to this end, still has got people who are not supposed to be in the municipality.
When you
And
say
the
they are
office
not
of the
supposed
chief
to be,
whip,
what does
yes,
that mean?
look, it means that these people, to begin with, were never appointed by the municipality in terms of the recruitment process of the municipality. When I arrived, when I took over that office on the 22nd of February, I find that particular problem. That is why I was tasked to investigate it. I found that these people didn't have appointment letters, they didn't have contracts to be in the municipality. Some of them didn't even know how much they earn, what their portfolios are, and all those kind of things. And I had to investigate. And also our internal audit had investigated. And that resulted in a suspension of a senior executive of corporate services. Yesterday, or the day when I was evicted from the office forcefully, I was supposed then to be giving a report to council on this matter. I was forced to pay to the region of 10 million to these ghost workers. The first bill was 2.5 million, second bill was 5 million, then there was a bill of 9 million in my time. And when I refused to pay it, I wrote in that letter to the CFO that you will not pay any disputed employees. They went ahead with the intervention team and they signed off and they paid those things against my instruction. And those are just some of the things that I discovered in the journey, in my 1 month to 2 months that I have been in that office. That makes it very, very important for people to ensure that I'm out of there by hook or by crook.
Well, we're going to park it there because this is definitely not the end of the story. But thanks for speaking to us this morning, Mr. Mzingisi Nkungwana. I don't know whether you are now the former or, you're still the acting city manager, because it is still as clear as mud. All the same, we will give the city of the Mangaung Metro right of reply to hear their side of the story, and then we'll certainly take it forward. But thanks so much for your time all the same this morning.